ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome back to our online class, every weekly online class on Bhagavad Gita. So we will discuss today on verse number 2.66. In our last class, we discussed on 2.65. So in the 65, we discussed that how a person's all the anxiety, distress are vanquished in their life. So when his intelligence is fixed on God, prasada sarva dukkhanam hani rasya vijayate prasanna chetosi asu buddhi paryavastite. So when the buddhi, the mind, the intelligence is fixed on the God, and then only he is all kind of miseries, distress, everything that will destroy the life. So now in the next sloka, Krishna is focusing on the concept that what actually causes unhappiness in a life. So what is that thing that makes a person unhappy in the life? So this is the main theme of this sloka 2.66, and there are 5-6 things Krishna is going to explain, and everything is interconnected. So just I'll share the screen so that you can also see the sloka. Okay, hope you can see the sloka here. Okay, let's recite the sloka. Nastir buddhira yuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayata santi asantasya kuta sukham. Okay, Nasti buddhir ayuktasya. Nasti buddhi ayuktasya. Ayukta. Yukta means connected. Ayukta means not connected. So, because everything is discussed about the mind, so it is assumed that ayuktasya means here it is mind, because it is connected to the previous verse. So, ayuktasya means if the mind is not controlled, uncontrolled mind. If the mind is uncontrolled, then what happened? Nastir buddhi. Then automatically the intelligence also not focused on the soul. If the mind is not controlled, then how the intelligence will focus? So, nasti buddhi. So, when the mind is not controlled, automatically the intelligence also not focused on the soul. Then what will happen? Nacha yuktasya bhavana. Bhavana means what? Your bhava, meditation. Then you can't meditate on the Paramatma. Nacha yuktasya bhavana. You can't put your bhav without the help of your intelligence and mind. They are the instrument that helps you to focus on God, right? So if your intelligence is not focused, then how can you meditate on God? You can't meditate. Nacha yuktasya bhavana. And when nacha yuktasya bhavana, that leads to nacha bhavayata santihi. Nacha bhav ava cha na cha. If you do sandhi, we check na cha abhabhayata. Abhabhayata means what? There is no meditation. When there is no meditation, na santir. The na is connected with santi. There is no peace in the life. So when you are not able to meditate on God, and there is no peace in the life. Krishna is telling very simple. Then asantasya kuto sukham. Asantasya means there is no peace, and when there is no peace, kutaha sukha, where is the happiness? You're getting the point. So all are so he's telling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things he's telling here. So the first thing is what? Ayuktasya. Ayuktasya means mind is not in control. Clear? Second thing, if mind is not in control, nasti buddhi. The intelligence will not in control. Intelligence cannot function on the God. Then the third thing follow, na nacha yuktasya bhavana, there is no bhavana, no meditation on the God. Third thing. And then nacha na santi, there is no peace in the life. And the fifth is kuta sukham, if there is no peace, where is happiness? So these are the five things here Krishna is telling that the secret of happiness is that the mind should be focused on the God. If the mind is not focused on the God, no matter whatever you do in the life, you will not get peace of life. You will be unhappy. So that is the main here the essence of this sloka is that somehow or other we should yena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshana. Mind should be focused on the Krishna. Then only you will get happiness in the life. So let's try to understand this thing from Prabhupada's purport. What Prabhupada is highlighting in his purport. Prabhupada in the first line only is telling, unless one is in Krishna consciousness, there is no possibility of peace. To the point. If you want peace, then become Krishna conscious. Otherwise, there is no peace. Somebody may, Arey Prabhuji, what you are telling here? I am sleeping in air-conditioned room, eating nice food, peacefully my life is going. And what you are telling that without Krishna consciousness, there is no peace. Come on, be practical. Let's not try to understand. Prabhupada is now quoting a sloka from Bhagavad Gita 5.29. And this sloka is Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasa. Okay. How Krishna is the proprietor of all sacrifice. He is the proprietor, he is the enjoyer, he is everything. So now, interestingly, if somebody is not accepting Krishna as the proprietor or an enjoyer, then what will happen? By default, he will accept himself as the enjoyer. Common sense, na? I am the enjoyer, I am the proprietor, I am the owner. Then the whole life will be turned around himself only. And that is the main point here Prabhupada is highlighting. And that is how he will be getting anxiety of his life. Because when the whole life will be turned around ourselves, then everything is centered around us. Then he will think that I should get this. If my son is bringing something to my home, then he should offer first to me, right? I am the proprietor of the house, but the son will not do. And then we will be miserable. If the wife is bringing something, she should first offer to me. Come on, I am the proprietor of the house. I am the malik of the house. The wife cannot do. Then we will be miserable. So that is the crux what Prabhupada is highlighting, that rather than making we as the central part of the house, make Krishna as the central part of the house. Then automatically you will get peaceful ambience in the house. Now, if the Krishna is the center, just imagine anything you will bring to the house, you will offer to Krishna first, right? I know one devotee that we know that we offer food to Krishna, but even though he brings anything, he first offer to Krishna. The mobile or some cloth or some instrument, whatever he brings. So one day that devotee came to Radha Gopinath Mandir, and the devotee gave to the pujari 2 gloves, and fighting gloves. That gloves. So the pujari became and he was surprised that what I'll do with that. I'm going to offer to Radha Gopinath. Come on, we don't offer gloves to Radha Gopinath, boxing gloves. We offer food to Radha Gopinath. Then this person was telling, I know, but please offer this boxing gloves to the Radha Gopinath. Why? Well, see, I am a boxer. I do boxing. So if you offer this boxing gloves to the Gopinath, then it will become Mahaprasad. And when I'll punch somebody, then he will get the Mahaprasad. The pujari will, oh, he like this. So this is like another extreme of offering to the God. So everything they see in connection with the God. I am not the center of an activity, but Krishna is the center. And whatever I do in connection with Krishna. And that's how the mercy of Krishna goes to everybody. So if we'll do that, then automatically our house will be peaceful. Because often I see in so many houses, because there are so many centers. The father wants to be the central part of the house. Sometimes the mother wants to be central part of the house. And the child, when he's grown up and he's 30, 40, he wants to be a central part of the house. And there is a friction between each circle. You're getting? There are 3 circles. and there are three different centers are different. So there is always friction. So the solution is what? Make one center and make all the circle as a concentric circle. There will be no friction. And how can that one common point you will get? By Krishna is the proprietor of my house. Then automatically there will be no friction and everybody will be happy. That is what here Prabhupada is highlighting. And automatically then one example is coming. Just see. Sometimes people think that if we get lot of money, if I'll get a big bank balance, or if I get a huge property, then I will be happy. So happiness doesn't come by all this material asset. The best example is like, you will see the example of Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. These two brothers they were like the prime minister and the finance minister in the kingdom of Nawab Hussain Shah. Just imagine, can you imagine the prime minister and the finance minister? And in some time, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing his pastimes, Leela, these two brothers, they retired voluntarily from their job and they went to Vrindavan. And just see, if a prime minister of a country retires, obviously all the facility, everything, they'll do the needful for his, right, the prime minister. But here, they will wonder to see how they wish to live in Vrindavan. It is mentioned that if they wish to live in Vrindavan, they should sleep under trees in Vrindavan. That too, they used to change the trees every night. Why? Because they may get attached to one tree. So they used to change the trees every night. And they just renounced everything. And the interesting thing is that they were happy. Otherwise, somebody may say, they are miserable. What kind of austerity they are doing? No, they were happy, satisfied, peaceful. Without having a single penny, they were happy. And I was just reading Sanatana Goswami's autobiography. So Sanatana Goswami, at the end of the day, he had a vow that he will do parikrama of Govardhan. Can you imagine? At the old age, Sanatana Goswami was doing parikrama of Govardhan every day. And one day, Lord Krishna is saying, very interesting story. And Lord Krishna says, Sanatana Goswami is doing parikrama. And Krishna was thinking, he is such an exalted devotee. And what is the need of doing parikrama, so much of tapasya, austerity? He can sit at one place and chant, right? So Sanatana Goswami was doing parikrama. Then at that time, Krishna became a small Gopal and Krishna appeared before Sanatana Goswami. And he tells, Baba, why you are doing so much of parikrama? What is the need of all these things? You just sit at one place and chant. Sanatana Goswami tells, no. I had a vow that I have to do parikrama every day. Okay. So then Krishna tells, okay, then I'll do one thing. You just sit on my shoulder, then I'll do the parikrama, then your parikrama will also done with that. Okay. So then he lifted Sanatana Goswami on his shoulder and he started walking. Krishna is walking and Sanatana Goswami was chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. And then he realized, my God, what is doing? I had a vow to walk. And I'm now riding, horse riding. What is this? Hey, stop, get me down. I had a vow to walk on my own leg, not on your shoulder. Get me down. And then Krishna thinks, my God, this old man is so jitty, he's not listening only. Okay. And then Krishna thinks that enough is enough. Now I have to do something. And then just imagine what happened. Krishna, in front of Sanatana Goswami, he stands on a rock. And Krishna comes to his original form. Threefold bending form, playing flute. He gives his darshan to Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami was mesmerized to see Lord Krishna in front of his own eyes, seeing Krishna. And Krishna is playing flute. And then Krishna tells that, Baba, I am standing on this rock. Can you see the rock? And now on this rock, my footprints are there. And you can see the cow's hoof print is there. Flute print is there. And my cow herding stick, that print is there. These 4 signs you can see in this rock. So what you do, you take this rock and then every day you can just circumambulate this rock 7 times. and that will be equivalent of making Govardhan Parikrama. That's it. No need to walk 28 kilometers. So that's how Lord Krishna gave this Govardhan Sila to Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami is to every day do parikrama of that Govardhan Sila. And till today, you can see this Govardhan Sila in Vrindavan, in Radha Damodar temple. If you go to Radha Damodar temple, you can still see this Govardhan Sila given by Lord Krishna to Sanatana Goswami. And that is how one can become very peaceful if his life is centered around Lord Krishna. Because in a mind, there is no end to the mind's need. Because mind will tell you that, okay, today you got a cycle, then tomorrow mind will tell, okay, bring a bike. What you are doing with a cycle? Let's see, that person is going bike. What you are going to with cycle? Then he will bring bike, then he will tell, look at that person, he is going a four-wheeler vehicle. What you are doing with the bike? Bring a car. So mind is like a restless baby. You see a restless baby? They have every time they have some different thought in their mind. So there are mind is compared with a restless baby. He will give some instrument, some toy to a baby. He will play for some time. Something else he will see. I want that. I want that. Then he will bring that toy. He will play for some time. I want that. I want. There is no end to the demand. And if you keep on fulfilling the demand, there will be no end. And sometimes the child will ask something that may not be good for him, because child doesn't know that. Child will see cigarette also. I want to smoke that cigarette. Bring that cigarette. Okay. Will you give that cigarette? Not, right? That's not good for the health. So the child doesn't know what is good for him or not. The child will ask so many things, but it is the responsibility of the parent to see whether that is good for the child or not. Similarly, mind have a big list of his to-do things. So many things mind will demand. So if you just keep on fulfilling the desires of mind, there is no end to it, and the mind will drag you in a negative direction. And that is how Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vintayo. Ambaris Maharaj tells that the first thing is that engage mind in Krishna's service. Ayukta, in this sloka you are right, Ayukta means what? The mind is not engaged in Krishna's service. That is how the whole cycle begins. So the first thing is the mind is the king of all the senses. Engage the mind in Krishna's service. Then automatically the intelligence will come in flow. Then automatically you can meditate on Lord Krishna very nicely, and you will get peace. And when you are peaceful, then happiness will automatically come. That is how here we can apply in this sloka. Okay, Prabhupada then tells that disturbance is due to want of an ultimate goal. And when one is certain that Krishna is the enjoyer, proprietor, friend of everyone and everything, that one can, with a steady mind, bring about peace. Already we have discussed this. Therefore, one who is engaged without a relationship with Krishna is certainly always in distress and is without peace. However much he may make a show of peace and spiritual advancement. So Prabhupada is telling, if you are not connected with Krishna, no matter whatever you do, you will be unhappy. You may make a show of that you are an advanced spiritual person or you are a peaceful, but that is just the external thing. Sometimes we see some spiritual person, they sometimes commit suicide, or we see, that person is so happy, rich person, crorepati, why committed suicide? Because that was just a outside show things, but the inside there is no happiness, no peace, because the heart is not connected with Krishna, with the God. Only the material desires are there, and that will not give you peace of mind. That analogy comes now. Like if you take a fish out of the water, no matter whatever you give to the fish, you may keep that fish in air conditioned room. You will give them the nice chappan bhog, chappan prasad or chappan bhog, this, that, air conditioned room, drink or smoking, whatever he wants, you just give. The fish will never be happy. The fish wants the water. And that is like the shelter for the fish. Similarly, you may give so many things to the jiva. Mind will give so many thoughts. It will keep on fulfilling the demands of the mind. The whole life will go in fulfilling the demands of the mind, but the soul will never be satiated because the mind's demands, the material demands cannot fulfill the soul. That is how here it is mentioned that Krishna consciousness is a self-manifested peaceful condition which can be achieved only in relationship with Krishna. So when you are coming in connection with Krishna, either through hearing about Krishna, or either through speaking about Krishna, or either taking darshan of Krishna, or either by going to the temple of Krishna. So whatever activity that making you getting connected with Krishna, that will bring peace to the life. That is what here it is mentioned in this sloka. And then the next sloka comes how the senses are so powerful. So it's a little important sloka. So I think we'll cover this sloka in next class. So it needs a little more explanation how actually the senses are so powerful. It can drag a person to a destruction. If your small senses get distracted, it will pull the whole body in that direction. That is how the senses are very dangerous. So that is the next sloka we'll discuss in our next class. Okay, Hare Krishna. So any comment, questions, or any point, please unmute yourself and please share your questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Sarajji.
I have a question. I missed last week, Gita, you had but I watched the 1.5 hour video. And so I have a question that you mentioned about some benefit of this Varanasi. So in which document is this information given about Varanasi?
Benefit of?
You were saying about that, that Shivji in the cremation over there.
Okay.
Which book that gives this kind of information?
Yeah, there are actually Puranas are there. If you read Shiv Purana, in that Puranas, because Varanasi is the abode of Lord Shiva.
Okay.
Like Vrindavan is the abode of Lord Krishna. So Banaras, Varanasi, Kashi, Vishwanath is Lord Shiva, right? So that is his abode. So whoever takes shelter of Lord Shiva very sincerely does his bhakti. So Shivji also reciprocated accordingly, right? And what is the greatest reciprocation? Lord Shiva wants him to become devotee and free from the birth and death life cycle. That's how Lord Shiva chants the Rama, Rama, Rama iti mantra in the ears of his devotees.
So Shiv Purana describes this thing.
Yeah, mostly Shiva Purana it is described, and other Puranas are also it is there.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam. Prabhuji, now I'm a little confused that having a material desire is a source of being unhappy, or just not being Krishna conscious is the main reason for being unhappy.
Okay. Actually, in one sense, both the cases are connected with each other. So if you are not Krishna conscious, then automatically you will get so many material desires.
But sorry, Prabhuji, but there are people who are depressed. They don't they don't do anything, and they don't feel that confidence. So even they don't seem to be happy in life. It's not that they are demanding and having material desire. So that category completely, there is a lot of category of people being unhappy and the reasons why they are unhappy. So having material desire or not being Krishna consciousness is the only doubt I'm having right now.
Okay. So, there are 3 kinds of modes: mode of goodness, mode of passionate, mode of ignorance. So the 2 category, what you are telling, I think it will fall in these 2 category of mode of passion and ignorance. So mode of passion is like he has a lot of material desires. He want to become big in the life. He want to earn a lot of money. He want to do this, that. It's a lot of material planning desire. That is mode of passion in people. And mode of ignorance, they are in their own world. They don't want to do anything, and they are not practicing bhakti also. They just They want just they are like that only. Yeah, don't disturb them. Touch me not trees, plant you have seen. So they want that don't disturb me. Just I am in my own world. They won't work, they won't do anything, they don't study. They are like the mode of ignorant people. It's like an animalistic life only. Eh? They don't have any higher ambition, they don't have any planning, they don't have anything. They are just spending the time. That's it. And that is for them, it's good only. That is called mode of ignorant people. Getting. So in both the cases, there is no happiness. But apparently, they think that they're happy. Now, the more passionate also, those who are working hard, working hard, earning money and doing something, they also think I'm happy because they measure the happiness in the barometer of money. And they think that, okay, I got this much of money means I am happy. But that happiness is relative, temporary happiness. That happiness will not give the satisfaction because the whole life they will run like that only. And the ignorant person, he will think that if I'm not doing anything, I'm just sleeping, and this is the happiness of the life. That is called happiness in the mode of ignorance. Rating the point. Actually, both are not happy, they are miserable. But only the point when you come in connected with Krishna, he will get the real. When I'm telling happiness, I mean it should be real happiness. That happiness should be connected with the soul, with the heart, and he should be satisfied with that happiness. Otherwise, all other happiness that is like a relative happiness. It's like you are getting a bicycle and somebody giving a motorbike. Then you will reject the bicycle and accept the motorbike. All these happiness are relative happiness. There is no end to this happiness. It will keep on always chasing after one, after one, after one. And that is a rat race. So that kind of happiness it is, material happiness.
But Prabhuji, when you say happiness is to be connected with the real soul, and we are talking about the super soul. But what about that? What about for a mother being or having a child for the first time, or a child always being with a mother? Even that happiness is something, right?
Yeah, that happiness in the material world, the relation between child and a mother is like it is like the example we can say that most selfless relationship what we can see in the material world, that is between a child and a mother, because in this relationship the mother doesn't expect anything from the children, from the child. She just serves the child. She doesn't think that okay, I'm serving the child, tomorrow the child should do to me. The mother never think like that. The mother only serves. So this is like the in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives this example. If you want to know the love, then the perverted reflection of love you can see in the material world in the relation between a mother and child. Because why? The mother only gives, but she never expect anything from the child. But that also not a permanent one. Because the mother thinks that this child is my child. This child has a connection with my material body. The mother doesn't feel the same love with the other child. Correct. The mother only feels to that own child. Why? Because that child has connected with his material body. This is my child. So he feels that happiness in that child. But what happened after the next life? That changes. But when it is connected with Krishna, it is not with the body, it is connected with the soul. That is called the real happiness. Even after death, also, that happiness is there and that will continue forever. That is how the happiness with God, connection with the God gives you the real, absolute spiritual happiness, permanent, eternal happiness that will continue throughout even after death.
But Prabhuji, if I behave in such a way, saying that, like, seeing other people happy, let's say I am a person who feels happy seeing other people happy, and if I behave in such a way, thinking that whatever happiness he or she is having is temporary, as you just spoke, and because he or she is not a Krishna conscious entity, my behavior may also like reflect, and it may not give a good vibe, or like a feeling that, or maybe they will say that they can have some wrong perception about me also, because I will be having in my mind that this happiness or whatever feeling they have is temporary. So
Yeah, it's
how
like
to
see, when you see other people by somehow or other, by fortune, by mercy of devotees, we are in connection with God, and we could practice Krishna consciousness. So when we see other people that they are not connected with God, they are not able to practice Krishna consciousness. So the first thing is that we should feel very compassion to them. We should feel pity for them, that they are somehow, they're not connected, they're miserable. Although they may not realize that, but if it is a devotee, Vaishnava, we should feel very compassionate. Paradukhe dukhi. A devotee when sees that other, they may think that they are sukhi, but we can see that they are dukhi, they are miserable, they are not sukhi. So the first thing is that always a devotee sees others in a compassionate mood, and the always that mood is to how to make them connected with God, or bring them close with God, whatever way possible. That should be our vision towards other living entity. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. How is everything there in China?
China is going good, Prabhuji.
Going good. Your health is good.
Ji Prabhuji, thank you so much. I'm doing okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, anybody have any other comment or any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Tulika Masaji. Hare Krishna.
On the same note that Vishal Prabhuji was talking, you were saying when somebody is not at a certain level of Krishna consciousness, or has not begun their journey, their spiritual journey, and they are lost to it. Yeah, I mean, compassion, of course. But when you say pity, if you keep having pity on somebody, doesn't it fan your ego slowly? Because when you pity somebody, there is an element of you being superior to them. Compassion, of course, compassion is the right thing. I mean, you feel compassion for that would not, but the moment you pity somebody, you already put yourself in a higher position than them, and that is going to make your ego a little bit, I mean, there will be so many people that you keep pitying only, na, them. And we are also part of the journey only, I mean, nowhere near. So just because we have started our journey does not make us any bit above somebody else or anything. I mean, we are almost at the same level. We are learning something every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that is one thing. And another thing is, as Vaishnavas or as anybody on a spiritual journey, since the first thing that you have to do is compassion, and you will always try to bring somebody else on the path of spirituality, because that we understand is the right way to go. But like last time you were saying, I mean, that kind of disturbed me a little when you said that in the Jagannath Puri temple, Radhanath Swami Maharaj or anybody who is not of a original Hindu descent is not allowed to enter. So that was a little disturbing for me, because if somebody like Radhanath Swami Maharaj is not allowed to enter, he is like completely into Krishna Bhakti and all. So if Krishna himself, not just for Radhanath Swami Maharaj, for anybody who takes his name or even takes 2 steps towards Krishna, he welcomes them with open arms, and he is there. So who are we as the middlemen to decide whether somebody can enter to take his blessings or darshan? And that is okay. You said that he respects their rules and he does not enter. He takes people for the yatra, which is okay. From his point of view, it probably directly does not make any difference to him, because his bhakti is at a very high level and he's already staying in a devotional and spiritual environment all his life. So his bhakti does not change by anybody allowing him or not allowing him to go in.
Yes.
But as a leader, shouldn't as leaders we be able to make a difference in the thought process of if the priests and pujaris and all that? It's not just in the Jagannath Puri temple. I have seen in other places also, other devotional temples or places, the people who are doing the puja and all, somewhere there is so much of the ego which is coming in, and then you start wondering if you're going to a saint's abode or any other god ka temple. Who are these middlemen who are to decide whether somebody can go and take darshan or just worship their Lord out of love? How can you keep somebody? And as a leader in that position, shouldn't that thought be brought out into the world to be able to, because if somebody is in a strong position, they need to utilize that thing of respect is one thing, but if somebody in a very strong position in their field is not bringing out the point that if Krishna only has no problem, so who is anybody else, no matter in what high position they are or how much they are putting flowers? And so ultimately somebody who's putting flowers and tilak for the god all their life has not learned a simple act of compassion to take everybody into the fold. Okay, I can understand if some other religion people are coming and disrespecting, that I can understand. But somebody on one of the highest platform of Krishna Bhakti, if you
I understood your question, Mataji.
It was it's not going from my head since the time you said that. I mean,
I am also 100% agree with the Mataji.
So why today Manjari Mataji is not visible?
I'm very tired and I'm not.
Okay.
I came home.
So I got your question. Even it disturbed me also, not only you.
No, and you have told us stories also in the past where, in the Leela and all that, where some of the pujaris have not allowed certain people to give a certain kind of prasad to Krishna, and Krishna left the altar and met them behind the temple. And if there are such strong stories, and the priests and pujaris have supposed to have been learning that part of the Krishna stories and everything, so if after so much, the so-called protocolized bhakti, after that, if a very simple basic thing of not treating a human being like a human being.
So first of all, the principle of bhakti is that bhakti doesn't come with your birth, because bhakti is like a person when practices it comes with the qualities. So it is not a attorney or a power of a birth or family that if you are born in this family, then he has that bhakti. The bhakti, simple concept. Now, if some person born in a doctor family, he will not become doctor. He has to study for that degree, and then only he can become. He may get that facility of the help of becoming doctor nicely because he's born in that family, but he has to study. Similarly, a bhakti also, when a person is not born in a certain family, Hindu family or that, then he will become that kind of a quality. It's not like that. One has to practice and imbibe those qualities. So not by janma, but by karma. Guna karma sa vibhagas. Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, it is based on the guna and karma. That is the basic thing. So many nowadays, this is the main conflict. So many temples, they believe from the janma, not by karma. If you are born in Brahmana family, then only you can worship Lord. Or you can born in Hindu family, then only you can do that. They believe on the birth, born. But there is a it's a debate and discussion. But the actually Shastra, the Bhagavad Puran, it explains not by born, but by karma, guna karma. If somebody imbibes that quality, he may be born. So many things like Haridas Thakur, he was born in a Mlecha. He was born in a Muslim family. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made him Namacharya, the greatest Acharya of chanting holy name. Just imagine, he used to chant 292 rounds every day. So Mahaprabhu himself is teaching that not by birth, but by qualities, by the Guna. So this is the principle of bhakti. Okay, that is clear. And everybody should follow that. Now, if somebody is not following, what to do? So in our temple, we follow this. In any ISKCON temple, we may go. All caste, all creed, all variety, all people are allowed to take darshan. So we follow that because this is in our custody, in our power, so we can allow. But it is very pity to see that few temples, they just follow these things as a ritual, as a detail, and they miss the essence.
But then that is Krishna Bhakti.
Yeah, that is, see, in Krishna Bhakti also, there are different levels of Krishna Bhakti. There are beginners are there are neophyte devotees are there, Kanishta Bhakta there, Madhyama Bhakta there, Uttama Bhakta there. So there are different levels of devotees in Bhakti also. So generally what happens in the Kanishta Bhakta category, they fight always for small things. Because they have not internalized things in their practice. They accept Krishna as God, but their faith is very weak and they have not internalized all the things in their practice. That is the Kanishta Bhakti, and most of the time they fight.
It's a very basic thing. Krishna is allowing everybody to come to him. So who are we to stop anybody?
So that is the point, Mataji. We are also discuss so many things with the Jagannath Puri. Practically, we discuss with the pandas, head pandas about all these issues. But if they are not ready to listen, what we will do? We can fight, right?
They are more interested in their own power, no? Then not
that is what to do. So, but Jagannath wants, and one day they may change their ideas, they may change their decision, they may change their thought process, and they may allow. That may also happen. So just have to wait for the right time, like that.
No, because I was reading because I was a little wondering how can this kind of thing happen. So I was reading, and when Srila Prabhupada ji had gone, I think I read on the internet, I don't know, that he voluntarily did not go inside the temple because they did not allow some of the ISKCON devotees to enter because of their descent and because of so he voluntarily did not enter. So that is kind of a good thing, because as a very strong leader, he made it a point to point out that this is not the way you have to go to Krishna. I mean, if Krishna is open, nobody else has any kind of power, even if you're doing puja every day and you are doing
I completely agree, Mataji, what you are telling me. Completely agree. But what to do? When Prabhupada told, this is not Uriya Nath, he is Jagannath. He is the Nath of the whole world. What you are thinking, only he is the God of only Odisha or what? So if you will not allow my disciples, then I will also not enter. And from there, actually Prabhupada brought Jagannath to the West. Practically started Rath Yatra in practically each and every country.
That's why it is there everywhere. Okay.
So now the Jagannath is everywhere. So you can worship like that. And when people, they don't allow and they are doing all these things, it's we know that what is wrong and right, but same time we should not have some bad feelings about all these people, because somehow or other they are born in that family and they got that opportunity to serve Jagannath so closely. So it's between Jagannath and them. So better we try.
I'm not actually for them. I'm saying after doing so much worship and being around Jagannath, how can you, how does that bhakti make sense if you don't even have that little bit of compassion towards people around you? How can it not?
That's what I'm telling Mataji. There are 3 levels of bhakti. Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari. Kanishta Adhikari, he will worship Krishna like anything, but he will fight with devotees. That is Kanishta Adhikari. Madhyama Adhikari, he will worship Krishna and same time he has a good relation with the devotees. He will not fight. He can understand each other. And Uttama Adhikari is like topmost devotee. He worship Krishna and he is like Paradukhe Dukhi. He always try to help other living entity. And he will never envy anybody. He is like all compassion. He is always trying to give. His life is just to help other. That is the Uttama Adhikari. So in these three levels are there, and we will find this kind of devotees everywhere. So it's very painful to see this kind of things, but what to do? But I have seen some pandas who are not agree with these things. Their opinion is that when a person practices bhakti, whether it's foreigner or anybody, it should be allowed. But who will listen, because they are very minority. So the majority they has to follow like that. It's there.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I have one little question for God.
Okay, please.
Yesterday, I mean, in today's Bhagavad Gita, you mentioned about that they had like a Goswami, he had this Shila in Vrindavan. So basically, moving around the Shila will be good enough instead of moving around the Govardhan hill, right? I understand, correct?
Yeah.
Just trying to understand, you know. And this is in Bhagavad Puran. I hope it's in Bhagavad Puran, right? Srimad Bhagavatam.
It is not in Bhagavatam, but it's like a Sanatana Goswami. It's part of the autobiography of Sanatana Goswami. I read in one book.
By the way, I did started reading Bhagavatam. I've finished about 100 pages, you know, so a little slow, but we'll see how it goes. But more than 1,000 pages, so you'll see.
Yeah. There are 18,000 slokas are there in Bhagavatam.
Yeah. I'm reading the English version, the one that I think the Prabhupada one. Because I can read English faster than the Hindi version.
Yeah. So in that Bhagavatam, first canto you are reading?
Yes, I think 1.18. I've reached 1.18.
1.18.
About Raja Parikshit. You know.
There are 12 cantos.
It's very, 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 very nicely written. Very nicely written.
So how many volumes are the total volume?
I got this one book, 1,200 pages.
Only one book you got?
Yeah, the whole thing has got about 12 to 1,300 pages altogether.
So that is like the first canto of Bhagavatam. There are 12 cantos.
It's got 10 cantos. The same 1,200 pages have got 10 cantos in it.
10 books you have?
Yeah, it's all in the same. It's all in one book. It's all in one volume.
Can you show me the book?
Let me see.
It's a hard copy, right?
No. I don't do anything paperwork. It's all on the computer, you know.
It's a computer.
Should I show you the computer? I can show you on the computer. Let me see.